a lot of things are much better. If you go back and think about what the country was like in the 1960s, let's say, there's been enormous improvement. I mean, remember, let's just take the Vietnam War, the worst atrocity, the worst crime since the Second World War. I'm not telling you you don't know anything better than I do, but Kennedy sharply escalated the war, authorized the US Air Force to start bombing South Vietnam, initiated chemical warfare programs, crop destruction programs to drive huge numbers of people out of the villages into what amounted to concentration camps, authorized napalm. Couldn't get any interest, none. I mean, I remember I would talk to people in their living rooms. I'd go to a church where there's 4 people. Nobody gave a damn, nothing. It was years. I was living in Boston, the most liberal city in the country. It was years before you could even get people to be willing to talk about it. Not in the Cambridge elite sector, they never want to hear about it. But you get some popular opposition by the time the country is almost destroyed. Well, it's better than that now. Things, in fact, US administrations know they cannot fight that kind of war again. In fact, one of the things that happened in Vietnam was that the army collapsed. To its credit, soldiers just refused to follow orders. The United States learned a lesson that every other imperial power had known for centuries. You can't fight a brutal, vicious colonial war with kids you take off the streets. You need professional killers. That's why you had the French Foreign Legion, the Gurkhas and so on. That's now the US fights war now with mercenaries called contractors, or else at a distance, drones, But no, just picking up kids across on the street and say, go out and murder people. Well, that's an improvement. There are a lot of changes like that. Not all too good by any means, but a basis for moving on.